Tom Selleck likes cough drops. Did you know that? Tom Selleck likes cough drops. Now, there was something very, very humorous a few years back. This is probably about 1989, involving Tom Selleck and cough drops. Now, I'm gonna illustrate this here to show you what I did. Show you what's going on here. Now, see, I'm gonna make a drawing here of Tom Selleck. Oh, this piece of paper is getting messed up. But this is gonna be. See how I defaced a newspaper with Tom Selleck on it. Once back, I was about 16 years old when this happened. Now let's suppose that this is Tom Selleck right here. See? See, that's Tom Selleck, that distinctive Tom Selleck nose and distinctive Tom Selleck smile. Now see that? There's something really wrong here. Now see? Now I remember when I was about 16 years old back in 1989. And I remember around that time, Tom Selleck came to Cincinnati because there was some movie he was filming. It was going to be called Hard Rain. It was called An Innocent Man. There's a movie. Okay, I forgot to draw his ears. There's a movie called An Innocent Man. But originally it was going to be titled Hard Rain, and it was filmed in Cincinnati. So the Cincinnati newspapers, when Tom Selleck came to town, was like, "Oh, this is amazing! Tom Selleck came to town! Look, man, let's stop the presses! Stop the presses! Tom Selleck is in town to film his new movie." And the thing is, there was lots of important stuff going on around that time that the media just completely ignored. But yet, if some big superstar like Tom Selleck was in town, of course they would talk about that endlessly. And of course, there, okay, the trademark bushy mustache, Tom Selleck. Now see. And that little line. Now see, now here's what I did. Now when Tom Selleck came to town, and I remember there's an article in the newspaper about how Tom Selleck, when he was in Cincinnati, he had one of his assistants go out and buy him cough drops because of local air pollution kept irritating his respiratory tract, and it kept causing him to catch respiratory infections. So he had one of his assistants buy him cough drops when he was in Cincinnati. So that became like a big meme for like a year afterward. Every time that Tom Selleck's name was mentioned in connection with his movie An Innocent Man, that his love of cough drops would be somehow linked to it. I would say, like every time that movie was mentioned, I would say, oh, that's the cough drop movie. So finally, the local newspaper ran an article about how Tom Selleck flew into town and he got his assistant to buy him cough drops to ease the irritation. And then finally, when the movie was released, there was a big I forgot to draw the Hawaiian shirt that he always wore when he was in Magnum P.I. See the little flowers. But anyway, also, I had a teacher in 6th grade who had a bushy mustache like that. Except he had red hair, so he just ended up looking like Ronald McDonald with a bushy mustache. But so this is like about 1984, 85, when I had this teacher. But anyway, when finally the movie came out, when Tom Selleck's movie came out, the newspaper, of course, did another big story about it. And this time they had this huge full-page photo of Tom Selleck. I mean, it wasn't a color photo, because newspapers back then didn't have that many color photos, unless it was something like sports or something. Oh gosh, if it was a sports story, yeah, man, that was huge. But it had a huge black and white photo of Tom Selleck that filled the whole page. And of course, we had the newspaper. We used to get the newspaper at home, and the newspaper, one day I noticed the newspaper was sitting on the floor. So what I did, I grabbed some markers and drew a cough drop coming out of his mouth. Actually, I drew his tongue. I took the red marker. I've got colored pencils here. See, I drew. Man, what's wrong with this table? Drew his tongue coming out like that. See, his tongue. Because his mouth was closed in the picture. So I had to do that. And I drew a cough drop sitting on it. Now, I don't really have any colored pencils that are the right colors for a cough drop. But so I'm using yellow and brown together because I think to represent what I think were cough drops' two primary ingredients. See, I'm going to see with a cough drop on it. And I left the newspaper sitting there like that with a drawing of Tom Selleck with his tongue hanging out and a cough drop on it. And I left the newspaper on the floor, and my mom got mad. She said, "Jim, why do you deface the newspaper by drawing a picture, by drawing a cough drop coming out of Tom Selleck's mouth?" Because a lot of times it took like a long time for my parents to get around to reading the newspaper. So they would read like a week-old newspaper, and they were so mad because I defaced the picture of Tom Selleck that was in the newspaper. But that was funny when I did that, though. But so see, that's what we did. Okay, so that's what we did. So Tom Selleck likes cough drops because it soothes his respiratory ailments that afflicted him when he went to Cincinnati to film his movie An Innocent Man, which was originally to be titled Hard Rain, a 1989 feature movie. But anyway, so that's the story of Tom Selleck and his cough drops.